eventualities that happen as they happen.
Stand out.
Okay, thank you.
You stand out. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
So today we're talking on issues as usual.
Yes.
We have the issues of the Senate, talking about. Yesterday we talked on the Senate as a retirement plan for the governors, and today we still want to look at the Senate, but in a different dimension, in a way that does he even if you don't come out as a presidential, as a candidate for your to represent your office, do you have to go back there again because you feel entitled to that particular position or something?
And then we have the issue of the ministerial nominees, the 7 minister. Mr. President during the plenary on Tuesday.
Yes.
The letter was read on the floor, and then Mr. President is pleading with them just the way they used to cooperate with the executive. He's hoping that he will see a speedy approval from the Senate. Normally names of ministers have to go through the National Assembly for scrutiny, and then from there they will give now their final
verdict
whether nay or
yay. Well,
so we keep our finger crossed, and follow the story and see how the scrutiny is going to be. To some they will say take a bow and go, to some they will just, and normally these names do come without portfolio attached to it. So let's see how it goes.
Well, before we go further, I just want to call out the names of those people that the 7 ministers that were nominated to replace those the cabinet of presidents that have resigned
and
to pursue one presidential, one political ambition or the other. So we the 7 ministers, we have Henry Ikechukwu from Abia State, we have Umana from Akwa Ibom State, Ekuma Joseph, Ebonyi State, and Goodluck Obia from Imo State, and we also have Umar Yakub from Kano. We have Ademola Adegorio Igoriye Ondo State, and Odo Udi from Rivers State. These are the 7 ministers that have been nominated, and some of the ministers that left or resigned, let me use that word, to pursue their political ambitions. Like we know, it's no news. Rotimi Amechi, Godswill Akpabio, Ogbonnaya Onu, and Chukwuemeka Nwajubu. Those are the people, and these people contested for the presidential race, which they all didn't. They didn't win because some of them, I think almost all of them, except for Nwajuba, they dropped down for the presidential candidate of the APC. So, and now talking about that, the resignation and then the dropping, they came out to go for this presidential race, and at the end of the day, they had to drop for Tinubu. And now we have seen that issues have come up from that, that both Lawan, who also came out for the presidential ticket, and Akpabio have now gone back to their senatorial constituency to run for the race of the Senate again. I don't know how these things happen in this country. It's very funny sometimes.
Yeah, it's funny. The law, you have to try it, even the laws in court. So some of these laws now, particularly the few ones that have been amended, the controversies, surrounding the whole electoral act, going back and forth before Mr. President signed, the present one that the INEC is using, which include the transmission of the electronic transmission of result, and then the
issue of ad hoc.
now the language you hear is placeholder. You know, because when the issue came, people were wondering, why will somebody be just nominated and then later be replaced? And I was discussing with someone. I was trying to hear his input. He's an INEC official. He said, yes, there's a provision for that. That even few days to election, you know, parties are allowed to substitute. There's that window. But there are conditions attached to it. And one of it, I was curious to ask. He said, you know, the present aspirant have to write officially that he is dropping for so reason. So that will give now the party the room to replace. So they will now say, because so have withdrawn from this, and then because of that we are still in the race, and then we are replacing the person. Remember, how would I put it? He's a product of that. Yes. Of that, you know, during that election, before the election was his life, you know, and then the issue now came up whether the deputy should take over. But the question was, the result were not announced yet, so nobody was declared a winner. So I didn't been at that point, somebody was declared a winner in that process, and then the person died. You know, that can take the deputy can now take place. But the process of counting, you know, that is what happened. So they said definitely now is left with the party. The party have to bring somebody to take place. And then the argument was, would the party send the name of the deputy governor to take over, and then they will nominate a deputy governor? So it was a really issue then. They dragged back and forth, and then finally the party have to give the name of Yahya Bello, and then now he's rounding up his second tenure. So that window is there. But if you look at it, in the case of Lawal and Akpabio, it's a different case. They went for a different position. Lawan went for presidency, Akpabio too also for presidency. None of them bought a form for the Senate. Like for Michina, he bought the form, he filled the form, he did the primary, he won, he has his own document. And then now later, you know, when he was interviewed, he said, someone asked him in the headquarters, that is in APC headquarters, that is he still in the race? So he was wondering, why would the person ask him? So because of that question, he quickly wrote an official letter and said he is in the race, he is not withdrawing. So he gave them the letter. And then on submission, he learned that his party now submitted a different name. So that is where the whole thing is. So the question now that people are asking, so now the law warrant somebody to go for a different office and contest, and when he fails, he can just come back, and then the party will now replace his name with someone that went through the normal electoral process. That is from buying the form, the nomination form,
going through the electoral process, and all of that, and at the end of the day, you were declared the winner of that particular position. And
yes.
At the end of the day, the party now decides to put someone else's name that didn't even go through the process, like you have said, which is rather not fair. If from my own point of view, it's not fair, because even if you are going to submit someone else's name, like you have said earlier, there are processes that need to be followed. You can't just go there and start submitting this person's name. Meanwhile, he didn't even go through the processes to get that particular position. And then from the law, let me just read this. It says the law provides that at the end of the nomination process, if any of the candidates that have been properly and constitutional nominated withdraws in writing and sworn affidavit that the political party that nominated me must and shall conduct fresh primaries within the period of 14 days, do that. That's why Machina came out to say he is not stepping down, because he did not go through all of this. Like the Senate president, that's the person of Lawan, has been in the Senate for 23 years old, for 23 years now.
Since 1999.
Yes, he has been there. And from my research about him, there is nothing really significant. It's not like he has not done, but like based on what I have searched about him, they didn't really even know him until he became the Senate president and all the things that are happening in the Senate and all of that. But now, look at why not give somebody else another opportunity? Yesterday we talked about the retirement plan, although he is not a governor, but I feel in this particular somebody from nowhere come and stand out is, if not, people will ask questions. Even the person you're doing that to will not keep quiet.
And you are right, and that is why Machina is granting interview left, right, and center, because people really want to know what really happened, what transpired. Did you write that you are withdrawing? Okay, in the first place, if you will just come and then your name will be replaced, or you allow your name to be now he's asking you to give him back because he's the one that you are just you are just a ghost candidate, let me put it that way. Because automatically, if someone buy form for you and say, okay, go and do this, this is the arrangement, was there any arrangement? People want to know. People are asking this question. And then the question, do you have a problem with him ever since? You know? And then Machina, 1992, he was at the National Assembly. He was elected as a member, representative. There's a federal representative, you know. So in his argument, he said, if you talk about legislation, he is a senior to Lawan because he was there as a member of House of Reps. You understand? Before the 1993 whatever that happened until then 1999 that the democracy returned, and then up to now we're enjoying it. But if you look at it, sometimes you will hear the politicians saying it's a matter of seniority. You hear those talk, you know. In politics there's a senior. So if you talk seniority in politics, in this aspect, he's your senior because he was once there before you, you know. And then if you talk about, but we are not even talking seniority, but the reason why I just say this, because these are some of the things you
what
hear
they
out
use
there.
as an excuse
to just suit one particular situation. They will find a way of how to maneuver it and then dodge. If you talk this, they'll say, no, look at it based on this. If you look at, but I'm just looking at it, okay, this electoral law, where did it come from? That's the question that masses are asking. Where did it come from? It's from the National Assembly. And then you are a principal officer. And if this is happening, then people will question everything that is happening in that house. Because even if it will happen, I don't think people will be more comfortable saying, you preside, you hit the gavel, when people say aye or nay. And the ayes have it or the nays have it. Is it just a law that everybody will just come and then do whatever he feels like doing and then get away with it? Like you just read from the Electoral Act, you know, as amended. From there, everything there is very, very clear, Lois. It's very, very clear. But like I said earlier, these are laws that, when being passed, you know, have the chance to be tested in the court of law. So Manchina said he knows what to do, and whoever is involved, like the Okwabio too, they know what to do. Now, what they need is the interpretation, because the House, the House of Assembly, they create the law, they make the law, but the courts now interpret the law, and that is why, if you see, they are all independent: the legislative, the judiciary, and then the executive.
You know, if like you have said, they said they know what to do, like if the thing is not favoring them, because you can't just trample on someone that knows is right. It won't work, except for people that don't know what they are supposed to do. And for someone like Machina of the issue, but we're just asking that the law, the rule of law, should supersede whoever, because the fact, the person that you say hits the gavel and says the things that are supposed to, you are the number three citizen of the country, then you should be able to be a leader that people will be able to even bring such cases to you. But in a case whereby you are there, when they come to you, will you be able to raise your head up high and then treat that kind of case when it comes? And for the issue of but before I come to the issue of Akpabio, the thing is, they can utilize section 285 of the Constitution.
And that's why I said they know what to do.
Yes. So that thank God the Constitution it has made available for such issues that like they know that it's
of the law of the land. So they will tell you that, okay, the only people that will interpret it is the court.
Yes.
So like you said, it is very important, because we want to see a new Nigeria whereby every sector works, whereby everything that the masses, we don't need to struggle. If you talk about education, health, economy, we want to see everything falling in place. Judiciary, name them, every aspect of life. Let's just see everything falling in place and working. That's the new Nigeria that we not that we will see, and then people will start asking, what kind of country is that? If people like this will make law, and then people like that are still acting this way, you begin to ask questions. Even the common man will begin to say, where is my faith if that is happening? Because you will just look at it like Nigeria is being created for the mighty. Because the mighty will always have their way.
They make the law and they break it themselves. So who are we deceiving?
That is it.
At the end of the day. And for the issue of Akpabio, there was a rerun election that happened after he dropped for Tinubu to get the presidential position.
Ticket.
He was particular election for the Senate to get the form again, and then there was a rerun election. And you can imagine that this person that won now had only 3 votes in that rerun election, and then Akpabio had 200 and something votes. Like, how did it happen like that? That's a question I will ask as a president. I wonder what other people outside there will ask.
Yes, it's really not funny, to be honest and to be sincere. It's not funny, and that is why this program is being created to ask sensitive questions that the common man out there is asking, demanding for answer. Why certain things like this are happening? Why we have constituted authority that's supposed to take care of this? Understand, the global world, they are watching how we play our politics, and then how we do our things. They are watching, and that is what they will take and rate us. Like Mr. President will tell us that in economy, the government have done well, in security they have done well, and then in fighting corruption they have done well. These are some of the things, like we always say, this corruption is not all about money. It's not about money. It's about how you do things. How is your appointment? How do your federal character operate? You understand? It's not only about money. Even your appointment. even if you follow the Federal Character Commission duly, but are the people being appointed based on merit or based on sentiment? These are some of the things that the global world check, and then they rate you based on that.
Yes. Yeah, to correct myself, he won 478 votes, not 200 plus in case. So these questions are what we ask. And then talking about the president, talking of security and all of that, he just came out to say that his administration has tackled insecurity more than any other administration that has been on board. And as in experience every other thing that is happening. Look at the issue of the Kaduna Abuja train. 60 were abducted. We've seen that a woman that was pregnant.
160.
We've seen that a pregnant woman was released, and also the son of the chairman of Northern Elders from the forum, that's Professor Ango Abdullahi, his son too was also released. And then yesterday, the president came out to say that
150 million from them, but no reports, whether ransom has been paid or not. But we know of the primate who paid 100 million cash. A truck came. So these things are happening, and then already now people are saying all the forests now are being taken over by bandits. These things, they are not ghosts. It's happening in this country. So you begin to ask, with all of these things, is it that you are asking that they should stop, like immediately, all of this nonsense should stop? Or you are saying just those people that spend up to 86 days, they are the ones now that the president is saying they should rescue them alive? What about others?
The issue of insecurity in this country has really gone overboard, and it's sad that things are being left to linger for this long. But we just keep hoping. We'll keep hoping that things will change, and then things will definitely be in place very soon, because we'll keep saying and calling on the government to do the needful. Thank you, Solomon Sambo, for doing today's episode. And to our viewers, why not stay with us tomorrow as we bring you fresh episode of Today's Now and of Nigeria Now. Sorry, pardon me, of Nigeria Now. My name is Lois Turaki, and I had Solomon Sambo on the show with me. Do have a nice day.